If you were aware of what lurked around during the night, you would understand the connotations with the fear of the dark. What can you see when your eyes cannot perceive light? It doesn't matter if you can see, if you cannot hear. What I'm about to tell you is the innermost depths of a type of darkness you may never have witnessed before. Should it scare you, you should be thankful. For those who are unafraid are targeted first. Bang. The sound of the picture frame I had only recently put up falling to the floor and smashing. Each shard glinted in the light of the only lamp in the room. Bare save from a few pictures, a cabinet and a bed. This was my new apartment. Being simply a clumsy person, I put it down to the noisy neighbours, walking out the room to find something to collect the shards of glass with. Considering it was the middle of the night, I was poorly dressed in a pair of shorts and a t-shirt. The cold of the balcony bit at my arms and it made me shiver. It was nights like these that I hated living alone. Quickening my pace, I set down the corridor towards the nearest glimpse of light, which happened to be my neighbour's apartment door. Quickly rapping on the door a few times, I stepped back in wait of response. Having only moved here a couple of days ago, I had not acquainted myself with all of those who lived around me. Seeing the light in the small window switch off, I was left standing in wonder of what the person was in there doing. Thump. I jumped backwards, stumbling and attempting to grab onto something that sadly was not there. Is everything okay? My shrill voice cut through the silence that immersed the quiet place, a shiver rising up my spine. Debating with myself on if I should follow my instincts and run away as far as I could, or staying for the welfare of this person I knew nothing about, I foolishly chose the latter. Slowly reaching forward, my hand wrapped around the handle of the door. My hand quickly dropped at the sheer coldness of the handle, a hiss escaping my mouth. Nothing to get yourself worked up about, I thought, reaching for the handle again. It's just a handle. Stop being such a baby. Is it okay if I come in? My voice rung out yet again into the silence. Cursing to myself, I shook my head at my own stupidity. Someone inside could have injured themselves, and I was too busy worrying about the paranormal and courtesy. Stepping forward, I turned the handle in one swift movement, shoving myself through the old wooden door, greeted by a dark corridor, silence ensuing. My feet began moving of their own accord, my bare legs getting colder by the second. Please, I begged silently. Please be okay. Seeing a glimpse of light, I yet again sped up, practically running down the rundown narrow corridor. Coming to a halt, what I saw terrified me. Help! I screamed, turning to run away from whatever it was. Because it looked angry. It looked hungry. If the poor old decrepit mangled lady on the floor was anything to go by, this man was hungry. The dark blurred my vision. Tripping on something in the hallway was my downfall. My nails clawing for escape as claws grasped my ankles. Scratching helplessly, I tried to fight back against this thing, this monster. To no avail. Sat in a trail of the once woman's blood, I sat helplessly. In this situation, I should have screamed. I should have ran, cried. Anything humane. But I couldn't. Red eyes watched silently. A relatively thin, tall man standing in the doorway. He wore a suit, a long torn work jacket, clothes stained in blood. Had it not been for the sinister look on his face, the man would have been quite attractive. His high cheekbones rose as his mouth twisted into a feral grin. His eyes slanted and narrowed. Every inch of his face was razor sharp, his eyes never faltering the intensity of their gaze. Blood trickled from his mouth as he slowly licked it up in one swift movement. What are you? I managed to choke out, sobs overcoming my body as I shook uncontrollably. My hands gripped onto my sides, my eyes not able to close. I was already scared of the dark. I didn't need to further my fear by closing my eyes. A shrill, dual-toned laugh echoed throughout the degenerate room, the sound going through me like teeth grinding. Long arms slid around me in a solid grip, my mouth opening to let out a gasp as the man before me was on his knees, hugging me. "Is this a game to you?" I screamed, my hands shoving against his chest in a feeble attempt to shove him off of me. His grin disappeared, replaced with a solemn look, his fingers cupping my chin strongly. "Look at me." His voice made my whole body convulse into shivers, sobs becoming more heavy as I looked up into the crimson eyes which held the gaze. Such a beautiful man. Such a deceiving death. "You will die in my arms as I eat your soul. But fear not, for you shall never be away from the light. The place I'm about to send you is inside of me. You shall be with me, and every time I do this, you will feel the pain of each victim. You shall never truly die, although you will see light, but your soul will be permanently blackened." My eyes closed, the tears coming to a halt, my grip releasing as my head tipped back, the world going black. I always knew being scared of the dark was a much deeper fear than anybody could imagine. Thanks for sticking around to the end. And if you enjoyed today's story, make sure to leave a like. And if you want more like it, make sure to subscribe and ring the bell so you never miss a story. If you need more now, why not check out my Creepypasta playlist? I'll leave that on this card, and I'll catch you in the next story.